Yeah, absolutely. But you also have to have a little bit of context, right? They have lost, what, 5 series now, back to back to back to back to back. 4 of them have been group stages. 4 of them have been in studio. They only beat them in an arena in the World Finals, which is over a few months ago. That was when m0NESY was the only carry on this team. That was when Nika was struggling with CS2 coming in. That was when, as you pointed out right there, Nexa was having a little bit of a rough time trying to fit into this team. This is a different G2 coming into this matchup, FK, even though history says otherwise.
But I mean, I think a big reason why they've been able to do it is this guy and the coach behind him, Blade, being able to set up amazing game plans to really just put these players in a great position to actually exploit this. I think the improvement and of JL, the improvement of Wonderful over time. Like, Wonderful's a guy who, when he came into this team, it was kind of like, what are we going to get? It wasn't quite the explosive introduction that we got from m0NESY when he joined G2 originally, but it's just been getting steadily and steadily better. And here at the Major, it's just eclipsed everything. It's been absolutely insane.
It has, and it looks like we're primed to see kind of, hopefully, a perfect semifinal in that we have an Alexi who's feeling good. You hear it there on stage, a HooXi who's saying, I'm not nervous anymore after yesterday, but we'll have to see. Let's start talking about the maps before we see the veto. And where do you guys think this is going to go?
G2 are a team who try to, flex a 7-map pool, so to speak, but we're not going to be seeing Mirage coming out here. They're going to band it out, and obviously for NaVi, it's not going to be Vertigo. This could really go anywhere. I think they share a very, very common map pool, so to speak. NaVi, they have Nuke as an edge. I don't really expect anyone to go for Anubis pick, because an Anubis pick, if you ask me, it's too risky. It's just too risky as your pick. Maybe he's a decider. This could legit go anywhere if you ask me.
Yeah, they have a lot of maps that they both share that they're both going to be happy to play. So it's just kind of what sequence do you want them in, and that's going to be the interesting factor. I expect we're going to see Nuke somewhere in the pool. I think we're going to get a rematch from that elimination stage game as well, and we'll see. Because again, this is going to be such a cool series in terms of the in-game leaders and how well they're putting them up. So there's the Mirage ban from G2, and you expected Vertigo to be banned as well?
Yeah, there we go.
And let's see what now pops up as the first map we're going to see. It's Anubis, Black.
Okay, all right. We saw this with Cloud9 where they allowed it through. That being said, FU, Cloud9, whole different team altogether. It's their best map after all, so maybe G2. They did look pretty good later on. Nuke pick coming in. This is Alexi B saying, HooXi, I'm in your head. I have your number on this one.
I don't know. That's a really dangerous pick, I think, from NaVi, considering the way G2 is actually looking dominant on that map in the elimination stage. The comeback that was required out of it, which is obviously going to be very well dissected by G2 heading up into this series, and we're going to be finishing over on Ancient.
Oh, baby. All right, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put it out there. I might have had my doubts about Anubis coming in from G2, but I feel NaVi should have just gone with Overpass. I feel Overpass is a map that, despite the fact they lost, they completely capitulated to Cloud9 earlier. They have otherwise looked very good on that map. It's a map that I don't think G2 played that much. It's their kind of second band, so to speak. I think that's a missed opportunity coming in here from NaVi.
I just like the first map of Anubis. I think it's going to be an amazing map to get this series started on when you consider we've talked the praises of both of the in-game leaders. HooXi, how he's had this team mentally prepared and how well they're playing and how assertive they're playing versus a very strategic-minded Alexi who's got to move his pieces around perfectly. Anubis is a wonderful map for that. It gives a lot of strategic variety to it. You can play fast, you can play tactical, you can be explosive, you can be slow pace, and we're going to see how well these in-game leaders can call around each other on the most T-sided map we have in the pool.
Yeah, and what the approach is going to be, and if Wonderful is going to feel as comfortable if m0NESY is now. He's never not done it when it's been on a big stage, right? We know him to be consistent, but Wonderful is going to have to match that and more. I'm not saying they're going to be up against each other directly, but as you say, in terms of the plans that the IGLs decide to field every single round.
Like, especially considering that these two players are the talismans of these two teams, right? Wonderful obviously being the MVP for NaVi. m0NESY, the highest rated player so far at the Major, still standing, mind you. He's going to try and beat everywhere, because once they lost to Cloud9, you look at the other games that G2 played on Anubis, it was m0NESY just being in the right place at the right time. He said in interviews as well, he's been given the freedom by HooXi saying, yo, if you're feeling it, if your intuition telling you to go towards B, go B. If you feel like it's A, just go for it. It's given free reign, and that's why they're winning on this map.
I think if we get a G2 that we saw yesterday, that same G2 hits the stage, and we'll probably be able to tell in the first 5 or 6 rounds of this opening map, I don't think NaVi have what it takes from top to bottom of that roster to withstand it. I think if we get